Hi, and welcome back to Thone's James Nibbles number 15, Faith for Our Life, part 3 of 5. We'll talk about spiritual grace. Now, again, we're still in James chapter 1, verses 2 through 8. Faith provides grace. Why is this in the Bible? We're talking about the battle between the worldly versus the godly. And that's one of the key issues in the day-to-day life of every believing person, every faithful person, is dealing with things that are strictly worldly in a worldly fashion, perhaps, but for most things, that have spiritual aspects to them, we challenge those with our godly point of view, a godly passion, and that's our life, really. And this is a simple observation of spiritual grace. The application to me. Here we look at a comment from Augustine, which reflects upon how we might better understand what truly blesses us. A quote from the Ancient Faith of Augustine. He says, "Purely human merits are evil, and God does not crown them, and good merit is a gift of God." And this comes from his own Grace and Free Will, page 6. Thus, simply asking in faith clarifies the source of good things in our lives, to us, to those for whom we witness, and most of all, to our Lord. We have to, every different situation we find ourselves in, we have to first analyze, what is this situation about? Is it about a sinful worldly thing? Is it about a thing that is in the physical world, but it's not really a moral imperative? Or is it about something which God has already taught us about, a spiritual thing, and we must treat that completely different, right? So we have to first look at that. Human merits are evil. Purely human merits are evil. That is, if you do something which is considered successful here in the world, that's likely evil. And God does not crown you, even though your fellow mankind might crown you. However, pure merit is a gift of God. That is, if you do something using your understanding, your faith in God, and the wisdom He has provided you through scriptures and readings and so on, then God will crown you for that. So we ask in faith the source of good things in our lives, to us, to whom we witness, and most of all to the Lord. And it's important. I mean, if we are talking about something which we witness to the others, it's both good for us and it's good for those who we witness to, and God smiles about that, right? God leads us with, when you are in need, call on me, and I will answer you. My response, Lord, thank you for clearly showing your love for us by saving and protecting us in a physical way, as well as your saving grace brings us assurance of everlasting life with you after our earthly life is over. And so, we don't have to ever worry about doing the spiritual thing that God has taught us is going to put us in a more difficult earthly situation. It may, but then He will protect us in that situation, or just simply take us away, and we're safe then forevermore. So that's interesting thought, and we'll talk to you next